I've never seen language like that in a court filing from a defense attorney or a prosecutor, and any self-respecting judge would consider ordering it stricken from the motion. And then
we are here with another shocking news of the day for you. It seems that the Judge Cannon has taken another route for Donald Trump trails. The historical trails seem to go nowhere. Recent update in the trails seem to raise more than ever. The questions now are angled not towards the outcome of trial, but towards the integrity and honestly of the courtroom and the decision that is to be made whatsoever. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? I know you are curious to know what exactly happened. Then why the wait? Here comes the answer.
Authorized the FBI to use deadly lethal force. But what Trump tried to portray as an attempt on his life, really just a distortion of the standard boilerplate language that accompanies every FBI search. Frustrated with the prosecution that she said, quote, "I don't like your tone." Again, she said that to a prosecutor just trying to protect law enforcement from threats of violence.
Judge Aileen M. Cannon's unusual decisions and procedures in managing the case of former President Donald Trump concerning confidential materials have come under heavy criticism. A primary critique pertains to Judge Cannon's resolution to re-examine the validity of Smith's appointment, an issue previously resolved by prior court rulings. It is uncommon for trial judges to let outside parties to present their cases verbally, but she has permitted lengthy hearings and even enabled them to do so through amicus briefs. Her rulings have frequently deviated from accepted wisdom in the Southern District of Florida, where magistrate judges are usually assigned routine matters. Judge Cannon is no ordinary judge for Trump's case. She was appointed by Trump in the latter stages of his administration, and since then the Trump team has regularly presented innovative legal arguments to him. These arguments have included contests against special counsel Jack Smith's appointment and funding, which led to the indictment of the president. New York Times published on June 20th, 2024, "For judge in Trump documents case, unusual rulings are business as usual."
Of course, Judge Cannon's handling of the documents case has been highly controversial. She had earlier intervened in the investigation that led to the indictment in a way that shocked experts across legal lines.
That a more junior judge like Cannon would not once, but twice disregard what these senior judges are suggesting she do in a case like this.
For judges to tell other judges that they ought to step aside. So it's not like there's a roadmap here that makes anything about this normal.
The publication indicates that in addition to demanding draft jury instructions well in advance of the trial date, Judge Cannon has made odd orders, such as withholding evidence from the FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago until a review for privilege was conducted. An appeal eventually overturned this decision. Opponents claim that by influencing jury opinions or postponing the trial, these rulings favor Trump's defense.
Federal judges in South Florida privately urged Judge Aileen Cannon to decline the classified documents case involving former President Trump when it was assigned to her last year. But Judge Cannon, who was appointed by Trump, wanted to keep the case and refused the judge's recommendations.
According to a New York Times story, 2 federal judges in South Florida recommended District Judge Aileen Cannon to abstain from supervising the criminal prosecution of former President Donald Trump upon her initial assignment of the classified papers case in 2023.
Savage, one of the New York Times reporters who broke this story. Pretty big scoop here, Charlie. Walk us through your reporting and what these more senior judges told Cannon.
Earlier intervened in the investigation that led to the indictment in a way that shocked experts across legal lines and was later rebuked for that and reversed by a conservative appeals court that included 2 other Trump appointees. So that was the backdrop.
Charlie Savage, a Washington correspondent for the New York Times and one of the reporters who first broke the story, chats with CNN. Legal scholars view her unique approach as deficient in standard judicial rigor, as evidenced by her citation of a non-legal essay by T.S. Ellis III in order to postpone the trial date. In high-profile instances involving influential people like the former President Trump, these activities raise questions about the impartiality of the judiciary and the adherence to established legal norms. Many legal experts are perplexed by the judgments made by Judge Aileen Cannon, who is presiding over the case involving sensitive materials and former President Donald Trump.
saying, I'm going to agree with you, Donald Trump, and temporarily stay some important deadlines. Your thoughts?
Much to dislike, both in form and in substance, about this one. Judge Cannon acted when her action was going to be to the benefit of Donald Trump. Here's what they say in the opening paragraphs of yesterday's court filing. Quote, President Biden's exceedingly weak debate performance on June 27.
Former federal prosecutor Glenn Kirshner condemns Judge Cannon for acting quickly in response to Donald Trump's legal motions while postponing judgments on other crucial issues, such changing Trump's release terms.
Partiality of presiding Judge Aileen Cannon might, as the federal law puts it, reasonably be questioned.
He draws attention to language in Trump's pleadings that strikes him as unusually combative for judicial proceedings and implies that it betrays a prejudice in support of Trump's defense. Kirshner also talks about how the current legal actions against Trump may be impacted by Justice Thomas's recent opinion, casting doubt on special counsel Jack Smith's appointment. He issues a warning that these legal efforts may erode public confidence in the judiciary's objectivity, particularly in light of Trump's legal troubles and its ramifications for next elections.
Heard it all, and I'm sure it affects them. And of course, the details that she spoke about have nothing to do with the charges in this case.
Former Judge Shira Scheindlin criticizes Judge Aileen Cannon for her handling of the case of former President Donald Trump, pointing out that there were considerable delays because of suspected bias and inefficiency. Scheindlin contrasts the hasty decision-making of more seasoned judges with Cannon's propensity to cling onto motions and struggle with timely rulings. She also notices Cannon's seeming bias in favor of the defense and her disapproving demeanor towards the prosecution. Scheindlin contends that although the intricacy of cases containing confidential documents is acknowledged, the protracted delays are not entirely justified by this. She speculates that Cannon's inexperience and uneasiness may have played a role in the postponements, maybe in conjunction with an unconscious or deliberate attempt to delay the case until after the election. While recognizing that the system has typically worked well to ensure equal treatment under the law, Scheindlin emphasizes the significance of judicial impartiality and efficiency in high-profile cases and expresses concern about the effects of partisan criticism on public trust in the judicial system.
Several pages and argued to Judge Aileen Cannon in the Mar-a-Lago espionage and obstruction of justice case.
According to Michael Popok of Legal AF, former President Donald Trump has argued for the dismissal of his Mar-a-Lago espionage and obstruction of justice case in response to Justice Clarence Thomas's recent concurrence in the Supreme Court. According to Trump's legal team, Jack Smith, the special counsel, was appointed in error, and the indictment ought to be overturned for constitutional reasons. Judge Aileen Cannon has expressed interest in these arguments, which some regard as a move to postpone the proceedings until after the next election. Thomas's concurrence, albeit not the majority opinion, is being used by Trump's attorneys to support their contention that the special counsel's position is illegal. Michael Popok believes Judge Cannon may decide in Trump's favor, sending the matter back to higher courts. Do let us know your views in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so you're notified as soon as we upload our next video. Thanks for watching.